questions. What aren't we talking about in the National Football League? Of course, Super Bowl's on the way. We're not going to talk about Taylor Swift today. Instead, we're going to talk about the Chiefs. I think we're all underreacting to the historical significance of this Super Bowl appearance for this Chiefs squad at this time. I keep getting told by every Patriot I've had on this show, and I have it a lot, that it's not a dynasty until you win 3K. You got to win 3, then we could talk about Tom Brady and Mahomes. Blah, 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 blah. Casey has a chance to do that in Vegas, but even if they don't, this run of success is to be celebrated, and we're seeing things we've not seen before. Take a look as I'm doing this thing. Next Sunday, the Chiefs will become just the third team in NFL history to appear in 4 Super Bowls within a 5-year span. Wow, that's in and of itself amazing. And if they win it, by the way, they join 3 legendary dynasties as the only teams to snag 3 Lombardis in 5 years. The Steelers with Terry Bradshaw, steel curtain defense, the whole bit in the 70s, the 90s Cowboys. Hey, Jimmy, oh, Troy, our friend Emmitt, and of course, Billy B, let me add him. There he is. Okay, with Tom Brady and those Patriots. Okay, what makes this, though, I love that imagery. I'm so excited for the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 58. What makes this all the more impressive is that it is happening in the salary cap era. And this is the part that I want clipped off and put onto Twitter, because this is the special part. This is happening. This Chiefs run, this Super Bowl appearance, it's happening in a salary cap era in this season that had everyone talking about how much parity there is around the league. While the obvious thing is to point, to point to as the reason for this run for Mahomes, and of course he has a lot to do with it, you cannot sustain this sort of success because of your quarterback. It is a credit to Andy Reid, of course, and this front office who gave each a lot of love throughout the season here for the way they've been able to sort of retool this thing on the fly while handing Mahomes the big contract. And that sort of is amazing. We've seen Brady do it. Brady was part of his legacy is I'm going to take less and to build more, to have more. You're telling me that and Patrick Mahomes, I do believe, is the highest paid quarterback this season. Patrick Mahomes, the highest paid quarterback, is in the Super Bowl. It can be done. We have not seen that. We usually don't. And they're keeping it together because of 5th-round picks like L'Jarius Sneed and doing their thing, and Veach being able to make it work with less and adapt as they go on. It is beautiful what they are doing, and it should be celebrated. The other thing I think we're underreacting to is sort of the opposite approaches that both teams are taking. Both these squads made the Super Bowl almost like night and day approaches. The Niners, it didn't really go according to plan, but the net result has been the same. Lynch and Shanahan decide to pass on spending big money for a quarterback. They make the deal, I'm sorry, Trey Lance's name is going to have to appear here. And they wanted to have a quarterback on a rookie deal to keep that talented roster intact. It ended up being, Purdy instead, but the plan, net, still worked out. San Francisco has 9 Pro Bowlers, 7 All-Pro selections. That's the most of any team in the NFL this year, and it's not a coincidence. If they had signed a bigger money quarterback, they wouldn't have been able to afford and extend guys like Bosa, like friend of the show Deebo Samuel hanging out at the Warriors game courtside last night. They wouldn't be able to swing the make of the trade, the most significant in-season trade, as it's been labeled by me, for Christian McCaffrey, or what's yet to be seen from their haul of Chase Young. They bet on themselves. They bet on being able to make the most out of a talented roster with Shanahan play calling, telling Lynch before the game, I'll see you on the podium, buddy. I'll see you up on the stage. And it happened. It was kind of weebly wobbly in the first half, but it happened. The results speak for themselves. It's, of course, helped that Purdy has gone above and beyond expectations for everyone that actually understands football, not for those of you who don't think he's not great. But this was sort of an unconventional plan by Jed York and Lynch and Guido and everybody in company. And it's changed the way teams might think about approaching this quarterback spot when it comes to overpaying guys who are in that middle tier. And on KC, they went the opposite way, right? It helps when the young quarterback you're paying is one of the greatest to ever do it, but they hand Mahomes the bag at the expense of guys like Tyreek Hill. It cannot be easy to say, Orlando Brown, we're just going to let you go. Frank Clark, peace, see you later. The Tyreek thing, there had to be some hesitancy there, right? And you think it's, Mahomes, he's great. You pay him, of course it'll work, it'll happen. That hasn't ever been the case. Like I was saying, before last year, Eli Manning had been the only quarterback since 2000 to win a Super Bowl while making top 5 money on the position, okay? Peyton Manning never did it. Brady, Rodgers, Favre, they never did it. And this year, like I said, highest paid quarterback, the entire Super Bowl situation, entire salary cap era, and he's holding the top spot playing in the biggest game. So yeah, the Brady discount was part of the legacy, but here we go. This is important, crucial, and needs to be celebrated. Okay, what else are we underreacting to? I would love some of your questions. Chatty K on 50K day. Okay, that sounds great. We are going to have the Eagles wide receiver. Tannehill, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, but let's go to our the last one. Okay, here's something I sort of need everybody's help with. Everybody in the chat, everybody on YouTube. Okay, the last thing I think we're sort of underreacting to, and something that is a bit of a current obsession for me, is what is the deal with these undershirts that players are wearing more and more underneath the jerseys? And I feel very much like an old man yelling at a cloud about this, but they completely like go over their pants, okay? So for reference, we've got a bunch of players that do this. Debo, NFC title, see that shirt there? And he's far from the only one. This was Puka, Cooper Kupp rocking this look. Like it's the t-shirt under the jersey. Is this a stylistic aesthetic choice? Is there a practical reason for this? I'm asking everyone. We need to ask A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith about this. I have to say, I don't know how to feel about it, especially for offensive guys, because you're sort of giving the defense more things to grab. The only reason I noticed this is because Jameson Williams almost got pulled down this weekend. Okay, and I'm not like, what are we doing? What are we doing? We've seen this. Players like Dallas Goedert, David Montgomery, you know, they've had to break out of their shirts in the past. I would think the less stuff you give defenders to grab on, the better. I don't understand the trend. I'd like to be cool. Is this cool? I don't know why. Who started it? Why is it happening? Is it, look at that. Is there not an issue with this? Let's uncover the mystery. That is the other thing that I think we're underreacting to. I said, you know, Moody is going to play a big role in this. Everyone's saying Chase Young's going to play a big role in this. Is an oversized T-shirt going to play a role in Super Bowl 58? Are there odds on that over at FanDuel Sportsbook? That I don't know, but I do know there's so much fun stuff going on there. FanDuel's putting, you know, there's Super Bowl props and there's all sorts of craziness, but there's also NBA stuff because FanDuel's putting the ball in your court